It is time, boys. Not time for programming, but holy shit, is it fucking disgusting. These lines of code that took me like 5 hours to do. Because every single time I'm like, oh, does it work now? No, it doesn't work. He made a big mistake somewhere. Like I flipped these values. Maximum should start at negative if I'm trying to find a maximum. Minimum should start at maximum if I'm trying to bump values down to minimum. What's wrong with me? Oh no. Then this initially was not a bool. This was actually either 1 or a 0. And I needed a bool to just a value. What have I done? We're gonna get to this point basically. It's gonna be one of the bigger points in the rant. We have around 5, 12. I need the number 25, 29 points. So we're locking in 29 points, and this is going to be highlighted. Alright, 29 locks. Can we do it under 3 hours? We allowed ourselves to open up 26 locks in 2 hours and 20 minutes, but because of that we only get C grade. Let's try again. It's so annoying, man, like, maturity feels annoying. It's literally my first point. Because, you go through dark ages in your life as a completely useless idiot, basically. You can't actually present yourself as anything until you identify exactly who you want to be and maxing out on that ego. And I still haven't been found, so like, holy shit, I'm gonna max out even more ego. I can't wait, fucking losers. Okay? Especially after you max out, you are still a loser. Oh, thank you guys. I'm maxing out. This, in a normal society, is like, at least someone identify me as a rant guy. So let's just, okay, let's map out society levels, basically. Society acceptance tier list, basically. What does that encompass rather? So the first level of society, this is 0 level of society. Nobody fucking cares. Okay, no society for you then. You're gonna be left behind. If I start moving, I'll leave you behind. Okay, because I'm waiting for society. I'm looking for society. So, level 0, looking for new society. In fact, this map is gonna be larger than 1 line. Who would have thought? So, okay. This level 0. How the fuck do we get a 0 in there? That makes sense. I'll do it like that, okay? This is level 0. Next, or we can do tier 0. Let's put it this way. I'll use T0 now. Talk about tiers of the map. Looking for new society is the first tier. Because society does not accept you, potentially does not exist in the first place. Because it has to do something, basically. If it doesn't accept you, it still has to do something with you. Observe you in some kind of way. Treat you like a fucking zoo animal or something. But if none of the above happens, well, it doesn't exist all of a sudden, and you have to look for something new that finally starts treating you correctly, okay? You are identified. It doesn't mean you're used in any capacity, but you're now identified. Now I'm gonna try and do this and see if it works out. It does work out, so the map continues. It actually is the first multi-line map I have made. It's amazing how, like, yeah, you could have done programming. I could have dug deeper into my grave, basically, and put a bunch of candy into my grave. But no, please. I don't want this. Nobody wants to be stuck in their talent zone, basically. Talent zone. So the same way I don't want to be just identified and stuck in the talent zone. It's like, oh, you're a good singer, and then everyone leave. What the fuck was that? Well, you are intimidating. So basically, obviously this is more of like a mutual social acceptance of you, but it could happen just by bumping social level or bumping socialism. You are intimidating now. You can be cancelled. So you have to double check if you're a creator or not. In this level, you have to double check if you deserve to be intimidating to other people. Okay, this is where you can get cancelled because people may or may not like you. You suddenly have influence over people, not just create an identity that people can look at or ignore quite quickly, right? If you have an identity, congratulations, you can make a TikTok video. And some people are like, wow, I made one TikTok video, I can just duplicate my TikTok, and that's how they make an entire channel. But on YouTube, you have to actually be intimidating to continue doing something for a long time. Like, it is quite next level, basically. And the videos are way longer, obviously. Like, it's full videos now. Just like myself, I am trying to be intimidating, but in a different format, because I don't edit my videos. I'm okay with not doing that. Because, I'm okay, don't worry about my self-esteem. It's your self-esteem that suffers in the end, based on whether you make things with passion or not. And if you don't make things with passion, chances are you're not going to get to the next level above this one. You are the master, basically. The master degree. Okay? You have intimidated so many people. Now they're listening to you, like tuning into you regularly. And you have a voice. Basically, you have earned a voice. That's insane. What do you do with it? I don't know, man. I don't even want to think about tier 3. Because immediately, what is the last tier on the list? After you're a master, you just get the voice. Meaning that you should be able to do most of the things you want in life. Just with that alone. Otherwise, life is pretty random and you have to accept it that way. Like, shut the fuck up. Everyone's going through randomness. Everyone has to master their brain, heart, other parts of their body. The physicality of themselves and the non-physicality. I think these are the 4 pillars of mastery, basically, that you have to do. So if you want to go to tier 4, another map shows up, because we are mappers, right? Mastery of oneself. Congratulations. Brain, heart, and we're trying to be super physical about it, but you know, brain and heart are not actually as physical as you might want it to be. Your body is a physical being, and then non-body, which is like somebody. Let's put it that way, because then you understand, like, okay, if I try and remove my body, what is left? It's like a death simulation. What is left is like other people caring about you for a certain amount of time, and that fades out. The interest fades out, essentially, and eventually. So, it's somebody. It's someone else that embodies your wish list or whatever. Whatever happens, you have influence, and that's where it all stored at in other people. Your ability to have influence on other people is all over here. So it is weird to just have something completely different. Something very odd, basically. It's almost like the name of the somebody is odd itself. The oddness of reality. Because often it feels like you don't own influence. It's somewhere else, but it's supposed to be yours. This is what kind of triggers people to overreact about, well, copyright strikes or authority going rogue all the time. We haven't really figured out what this is. Maybe this still is within our bodies, actually, for some reason. Maybe it's our soul. Maybe it's some kind of feeling system. Blood? How about that? Because whenever we speak, I think that's the most vampiric thing you can do, is just listen to someone. So who knows? I actually, because I can't even master the map, I don't even know what this is. You can say it's blood because the biggest influence you're gonna have is like create a family, right? So it's either this or blood. Or there's potentially a flip side to every single physical form of maximum, identity. Because we're talking about earth, water, fire, and wind. And if I want to be precise, I will put them in order. Anyways, it's annoying. There's a lot of order, actually, and I am being annoyed right now. I hate order sometimes. Because order means that I have to make more videos so people can learn. And the longer that doesn't happen, I have to not reinvent the order, but just keep the order within myself and order my life. And I know it's almost like building a sandcastle that someone else could ignore entirely and just destroy. And at the same time, while I'm building order, I hate it. I'm trying to protect it through hatred. Through trying to, anyone wants to adopt order in their lives? Anyone? Nope? Okay, whatever. We will not give you new parents just yet. So, by the way, this is just a very cute meme from Dr. Phil, or for Dr. Phil. Let's go to the ranch. That's me right there. Dr. Phil should send people to me, specifically. I will not take no for an answer. Dr. Phil sucks anyways at fixing children or fixing parents, whichever one needs fixing. Children is very difficult to fix because you can't get respect from children. It never happens, basically. But let's go to the ranch. Immediately got respect because this is the way you force respect. Let's go to the ranch. Immediate respect earned. The children start crying. I don't want to go. Yes. Yes, Dr. Phil, we did it. We found the perfect solution. Is actually distancing yourself from people helps a lot more. But if you're a bad parent, distancing yourself from children will help them. So whichever one is being helped, this is the one that wins the game, basically. If you're helping the child to grow and they're surviving and they're just ignorant to you, you can leave them alone, you can leave them hanging, or you can leave them in an extremely different environment all of a sudden. Because you have to maintain your home, so you can't just leave them home. They'll just pretend that nothing ever happened. So, yeah, it's a little twisted, because now I'm thinking like, okay, what if I get to the ranch? I would actually be incredibly happy. So that's a bad thing to do for me to go to a ranch. No. I should be unhappy, because someone wants to squeeze respect out of me, you know. Eventually I have to go back home and live a normal life. You know, that's a fucking point right there. Eventually you need to go home and live a normal life. Home means $0 rent. Anyone you pay rent is a fucking bulldozer of your self-esteem now. They at least steal half of what you earn. I mean, what is wrong? Because at some point you need like a vacation or something. You need to chill. And the rent does not chill. The rent wants to poke you. What are you doing? Give me money. Fuck off, man. And some rents are crazier than others. Some rents say, this society is functional, but you should run. It has been nuked. It's made out of zombies. And despite it looking fancy and has tall skyscrapers or something, it's actually a shithole. You don't know it yet, but you should run. And here's the number that proves it, you know? You're looking for that 0. Yeah, you will have expenses, of course, of various kind, and even that should be 0. So if someone says, hey, you can just live here and there are actually no expenses, that means that is my home right there. Okay? The home is where the 0 is, and you try to gravitate towards that. Obviously, if it's a completely new environment, the expenses are not 0. The expenses are pretty high, but you can always test. And the question is always like, I have to travel, so you have to like lay down your expenses as if it was rent already. So, but it's another fucking, I feel like a fucking annoying poor person right now. And like, what do you expect? What do you expect? I should be annoying. Because I'm like, look at me. I can brag. Rich people can't brag about nothing. Okay? You can't brag about nothing. Lose bragging rights as well as other general influences. Influence. Okay, whatever. You lose it. You're rich now. Go live your life. Bye-bye. Get the fuck out of here. You know? Try and cross Antarctica and maybe you'll find new land. Go to space if you believe in space. Get the fuck off our fucking land, rich person. You have way too much power to screw over the economy. You're already screwing the economy by having money in the first place, so it's not moving around. You just have it. And it is not okay to be a rich person. We just haven't figured out how bad it actually is. So societies, while they're not functioning properly, they're like, hi, rich people are okay, you know, like, they're gonna spend money in our society. As long as they're spending money. Yeah. As long as they're tourists. You know, like, that's fine. That's a completely different definition. It's not a rich person anymore. A tourist, yeah. So we're gonna go to the ranch a little bit more. Alright, that's a start on poor. Inability to be bad. Yeah. Even if I can be as annoying as I fucking want, I can possibly be bad or evil in any capacity. This is why I automatically rank up at the same time. Poor people can't be evil. They automatically rank up. As society moves forward through technology or through some kind of a next level of software establishment or just systematic establishment, it moves forward, whatever. It's gonna bleed anyways, eventually. It's gonna have to throw away the trash, and with the poor people, with the trash people, we pick up the trash and we try and reinvent society. And we're playing different games, but we're not bad in comparison, okay? We're just different games. It just looks completely different. But yeah. Doesn't mean that we can't make society, basically. Okay. Poor people take advantage of decaying cities and can make a society. So, have fun doing that. Am I really now a poor person all of a sudden? And am I really gonna represent poor people in general? See, the problem is I don't know who I am or what my future holds. I don't even know what reality is and how to trust reality not to just take me away to a fucking different place in the world entirely, especially when there are these, at least now, a separation of big and small societies, neither of which are, again, better than each other. As long as it's a society, it's perfect. You have reached perfection of life can live here. Wow, congratulations. And if it's different kind of societies, they're even more valuable. Basically, they work together without you even knowing. This is fascinating. This is like 23-minute introduction to definitely not any log here. This is just completely out of the blue. I have to like figure out. This is where the social awkwardness actually would have been thrown in as the first point if I had one. But actually, I'm gonna do the more helpful thing. I created an Instagram post and I wrote down some things, but it's insignificant, okay? I just painted out help, and that's a very tough word to learn. Whether you want to accept or deliver help, whether you need to help yourself, help your environment, or just ignore help altogether because you're doing well, okay? You don't have to invest anymore. Don't have to worry about it. And it's not necessarily help yourself moment. It is just self-esteem moment, basically. There's something wrong with your self-esteem and you have to double check. So you have to let someone help you. This is very awkward, right? Help is just a very awkward word to deal with. Because now that I'm opening up myself to, again, constantly new challenges and new understandings, I mean, I feel really small. And help is a big word. I don't know if I deserve it. I don't know if I can learn anything about it. Besides, like, the basics. The basic 4 principles. But I know I have to try and just hold it. Just like every other word. That's big. Okay? If I ever want to, like, know what language is, you know, be more helpful. Just, yeah, the help is like the most unstable substance word there is. And if you don't believe me, let's try and pull out a story out of nowhere. Obviously, like, I had just something very recently, or like my dad is being very helpful because he's gonna buy a washing machine, and washing machine actually cost a lot of money. And I have to appreciate that. I can't just say he's a stupid smoker. Okay, he came here. I have to respect the travel expenses. I have to respect that he's still working, that he's not losing his job. I have to make sure that his self-esteem is not fucking ruined. And now, as all these responsibilities are growing on me, I'm like, wow, I feel fucking small. That's what makes me feel small. And then a neighbor checked up on me and whether my mom is still in the hospital. So that was fucking very helpful right now. 2 people being helpful in my life, like, barely. Because the woman who checked up on me, like, gave me $10. Topped me up a little bit. Congratulations now. I have it for food longer. I can sustain myself even longer. Barely helpful in my life. Still pretty overwhelming. So when I say help, like, that's such a big word. I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe I can handle 2 people in one day being helpful. 3 people. But that's not where it ends when I'm YouTube CEO, because everyone is supposed to be helpful, right? But if they're supposed to be helpful and I'm YouTube CEO, then I am the helpful one, okay? Being YouTube CEO mostly means that YouTube creators are not helpful. And that's as big as I can go, as wide as I can go with my self-esteem. So I went small and big immediately. Why are creators not necessarily helpful? Well, they're just sitting on a platform and getting attention. It's a very basic fucking deal, and most importantly, something you have to fucking ram into your head. YouTube is 15 years old, 10 years of influence. It's a major platform, but it might go. Might be outshadowed. And now you can see the outshadowed word refers directly to the shadow market. That's what shadow market finally is. Congratulations. Wave the hand to the shadow market. Hello. The crazy new ideas that block the spotlight for old ones. From old ones, okay? So at some point, shadow market spawned something completely new. YouTube is outshadowed, is no more. It was never like the biggest trend of all time that could have sustained itself forever. So, whoops, you know. I'm not saying TikTok is gonna take over, by the way. I'm saying TikTok is gonna get bulldozed before YouTube gets bulldozed. TikTok is more of a time limit, basically. The moment TikTok is fully gone, not just vined into a completely different being, okay? YouTube is finally in danger, okay? Then we'll know. TikTok is sticking, basically, for YouTube as well. And not because some bans, but you can sense the similarities. You know, you want to ban TikTok, you want to regulate YouTube. The similarities are there, but YouTube can handle more pressure. So it's very, very interesting to have like the simulation of a smaller, very successful platform I will talk about later. Price to make one TikTok, for example. Oh my god. So we're just getting started. I haven't unlocked anything. It's half an hour already. Next graduation requirement. I want to see if I can conjure that back up because I forgot. But as a creator, you're doing something extra, basically. As a creator, you're not just talented. You need every talent you can handle. You need now everything. And above that level, you will need every opportunity you can handle. Because all of a sudden, as you are becoming a creator, opportunities will start showing themselves up. Even something laying down on the street, you're like, I can create something out of that. You can pick things up, all of a sudden you can start identifying things very quickly, whether they're valuable or not, because you have picked up an incredible list of talents, right, that mash up together so you can process something all of a sudden. Creator has a processing power of some kind, where they can take trash into influence. Okay, they can turn trash into influence, and that's the processing power. I still don't know how to calculate it. It's still just a theory, or just a point to make, because I hate the word theory all of a sudden. Theory means nothing. Theory means some children playing, thinking about something, looking at statistics, neither of which are matter to me, you know, just thinking alone. If you play your thoughts out. So transcending a theory is kind of interesting. What is a theory? A theory is just something like a question. It's like a log. I have all the theories that I need, right? And these are not theories, actually. There's just pointers of what I should think about. And the theories, they pop up, and that's as long as they can last, really. It's just a pop-up. You can call everything a theory here. And you wouldn't be wrong, but because everything is a theory, all of a sudden you are point is pointless. You can't point at one thing and say it's a theory. Yes, everything is a theory. Technically, it's just a thought that I came up with through observation. Like, that's a theory, right? What is a theory? I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm scared now. MathBat, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, MathBat? MathBat. What is a theory? Okay? What is he gonna say? This is what I want him to say. RatBat. That's what a theory is, okay? What if he is actually a ratbat? That's exactly what a theory is, dude. Ratbat. The best thing ever, dude. Just R. What is an R? Why does M turn into an R? Do we have statistical advantages? Because it's more like, we don't just observe statistics, we observe them for specific little spikes we can take advantage of to prove our theory that cannot be proven because it sounds dumb, basically. Whatever sounds super dumb remains a theory, basically. So I don't think I'm making dumb points, but here you go. This is a seal of approval right there, dude. We get a full-blown star, and I can just disappear into nothingness. MathPat, what is a theory? God said. Yep, that's what happened. Ah, fuck yeah, dude. Stressology, let's pick this thing up. It's almost like every single time I pick a lock, I'm in a game show, and if I can properly pick a lock, then I earn more and more money based on how many locks I cleaned in total. So, fuck yeah, dude. Let's pick Stressology level 1, okay? What is that? Let's see what Stressology is. Understanding stress is so important, it has its own category of, well, studying. Let's put it that way. You need to study stress as much as you possibly can, especially in a zombie apocalypse scenario, okay, that we potentially live in, okay? Especially when Lucid, I'll introduce Lucid again as the trigger warning, basically. I talked about him in the "Is this a 25-year-old virgin rant" video? That's what I did. But Stressology is a way to escape stress that weighs you down, that steals your energy. And again, I introduced Lucid as like he's triggered this point where school drains your energy. But it doesn't stop at school. It's just a starting point for government to drain your energy constantly. And actually, it's a very specific strategy. Gov drains your energy and then attacks your self-esteem. Most of the time it's going to be low self-esteem. Okay, but if it's high still, that means you have successfully defended yourself against the government attack. The government attack is specifically to injure you with information. So you hold information for them, basically. Information, in fact, right now, storage of information might just be the most expensive thing ever. And I can just say Google, and you understand what it means. You don't just store information, it's the storage of information. You don't just store it, you have to learn what storage is. And again, storage is a high-tier profession. So obviously it is expensive. And I've talked about it, you have to organize things and be able to search for them and find them quickly. So this is why I stored, YouTubers in a quick searchable box. It's just so simple. but I only have all the keys of who I know about. So I have TechBoss, for example. I know TechBoss exists, but now I'm talking about, I'm gonna rename him into Mr. Who's, because Mr. Who's is something that is a searchable term on YouTube. If I go to YouTube right now, Mr. Who's the boss shows up. He has 5 million subscribers, but you cannot just say Tech Boss or something, because that's someone else's channel with 1.3 million subscribers. Meaning I have conflicting data, but what is even more interesting, his name is Mr. Who's, which is actually a typo. His actual name is supposed to be Mr. Who Is, which just leaves an S without an E. So it's, if there's a quirk, I'm gonna use the quirk to identify him for sure. I'll give them the $45 that he actually owns in his Prime account. The Prime account is gonna disappear now. Oh, fuck. Wow. When did that happen? Mr. Who's actually existed. Oh, no, he didn't. Because I just used the multiplier of 5. Yeah, I'm retarded, I'm sorry. So Mr. Who's... I'm gonna use the multiplier of 4. And, remove now 45 points. You son of a bitch, you stole so many points. Accidentally. This is why multiplier is a little bit of a sketch concept. I don't know. I don't even know, man. I don't even know how to use multiplier. There's one concept that I care about a little bit, and it's the 300 concept. So we're gonna pick it up. What is the 300? This is the graduation number, basically. So, equality games are on. People still are in 3K. Basically, in equality games, I'm trying to pick up poor people and just drag them upwards slowly. So PewDiePie's still poor. Hearthstone's still poor. And porn is actually still poor. Which means that I'm a good person, basically. No, seriously, porn does not have too much of a positive or high influence whatsoever. But there's one thing that I have left unorganized, which is the pictures that women take after they become porn stars. They take a lot of pictures too. And that is high fucking quality pictures. At the same time, they're usually in a bikini formation, or like dressed up very well, or seductively. Whatever it is, it's fucking high quality in every way. Celebrities can barely compete against that. Okay, they have a higher quantity of photo shoots, or most of the time, okay? But sometimes it's just, I don't know, it's equal, but there's more porn stars. Let's put it that way. Let's put it that way. Quality. So, to graduate, you need 300 points. What does it mean to graduate? You're gonna get yourself a team. You're gonna be discovered finally. I don't necessarily have like top list of people that I can pull out. I can only pull out an archive. I also need to make sure these archives are properly labeled of when they have been created. So this is a 923 archive. I'll just call it an A, or just arc it like this. And then I'll create another archive, just to be sure. Archive. Archive is ready, so I can create another archive. I can even create a folder of archives now. I'm trying to make this as simple as possible and a little bit manual, as you can tell. Every week I should make an archive and just save it as it is. Okay. And then I can just put it here and load the archive at the same time. We can do that right now, just to prove that it works. Load archive. I'll load the data. I usually poke Ari. I can poke myself a little bit. And I can poke Team CEO and all teams. Let's consider them all. Let's look at them actually. Just a little bit more. They shouldn't have changed anything. Team Vibes maybe? Went to 51. Maybe I'm poking TikTok or something. Team School should be higher now, quite a bit. So some of them are gonna escape even the grasp of 4K. While everyone else is struggling, someone else is gonna skip 4K. Okay. So here you go. Equality Games is not like a... It's almost like its own show, potentially. It's running in the background, not in the foreground of my channel, as it used to be the case with the Battle Royale. I want to know how Battle Royale would work in this format, because I can still make points, but it's almost like, you know, these are not real points. But this is kind of real, kind of fascinating to me, and the more time I spend, the more influential my thing becomes, basically. You must understand that everything has a manager. So I'm a manager of fake things, but like it still works. I'm not exactly sure if I can unlock this. This means that I don't know, man. I don't know. Sometimes I just put it in such a vague format, I just lose it, but whatever. We all know that beauty matters, except for me. I don't know why it matters. And we touched dressology already. It seems like a weird thing, right? But that's immediately what I do. I go the opposite way. Right? Beauty matters? No, it doesn't. No, it does not. Of course it matters. But how? Why? What is that? Why did I put it as a point? Can I explain anything about beauty? Or is it the most inconceivable thing ever? And for me, so hard to conceive. You're just left staring at it. That's it. That's all you get. You can just look at it. And its beauty. Congratulations. It matters. It matters once. It doesn't matter twice. It's there and you pick it up for yourself. It's almost like a fucking flower. Does flower matter? Most of the time it doesn't. Like a flower. Don't gift your women flowers. They have a very tough relationship, or like they're very competitive against flowers, guys. Please don't give them flowers. flowers might win, and your girlfriend will be found dead. Who did it? The flowers. Oh my god, dude. Can't afford being serious. I'm not talking about myself here. I'm talking about a lot of other people. I want to know if it's some kind of a problem. We are entering 1 hour mark, so I'll stop there after I'm serious for this one moment. Being serious is you just break a simple wall, you know. You need to be serious only once, and then your serious level is gonna actually go down on the issue. You know, you just grab something and you're serious about it. So in order to grab something new, you have to be very serious when you're dealing with a new thing, because you can pour in a lot of effort, sometimes even make up some info, whatever, right? Whatever the new thing is, as an opportunity, you have to be very serious about it. This is where the talent shows up. Accidentally, you pick up something new, like, wow, I learned how to play this instrument or something, and you feel good about it. But when I look at you, you just learn some kind of to play some kind of game, basically. For me, I know how to play Hearthstone, okay? So I can kind of relate. I know how to play a game too. I know about Minecraft. I learned how to play a game too, and like you should not just learn how to play an instrument. Maybe you should learn how to play a game instead. Because why am I referencing so much, hinting at it? I didn't just learn how to play a guitar and all of a sudden I highlight a guitar playing channels or something, music channels. That's not how I discovered YouTube in the first place. What made me discover YouTube is, the tiny bit of fan support to come back to my old creation. That was, again, not the mastery of Minecraft, but the mastery of Minecraft. So it's like double the speed and double the influence. Fuck yeah, dude. Double the comfort levels. So I graduated not just with flying colors, with fist in someone's face, basically. That's how I graduated. Hey, give me my trophy back. No, it's actually my trophy and it's gonna explode in 10. That's what happened, basically, guys. This is actually my trophy. I just let you hold it until it explodes. Trophy. Boom. Here you go, motherfuckers. Nobody needs a trophy. Are you fucking kidding me? I just made it explode. That's what it was this whole time. Fireworks show. You still want to hold it though? You don't believe me? Okay. Yikes. I'm still gonna be guilty after this. You know, I'm still gonna feel guilty, and fuck me, guilt immediately throws me into jail. There's no way out, man. Can't afford being serious, man. Because if you hold on to that trophy, you're gonna explode, and you don't want to be serious about that. You can't afford being serious because most people make stupid decisions, so they can't afford being serious about the new things that they introduce into their life, because they're not as worthwhile as you thought they are, basically. So next, what is next? Next graduation requirement. I still haven't figured this one out. As I've said, I immediately pick up creators. As a creator, you're not just talented. You need every talent you can handle. But how do you graduate as a creator into a manager level? What the fuck do you do? What the fuck should I do? Okay? And what's gonna happen in my life? As a creator, I can still be completely ignored. By the way. the processing power of influence. It's almost like you know, I turn myself into semi-super saiyan. I can throw some kamehame blasts out of my hands, turn trash into blasts of energy. Congratulations, very high processing power. I can do it. I can repurpose YouTube channels for myself at least, okay? I'm your audience, dude. Because I own it. And I own more and more things. I essentially look up towards YouTube CEO as like, so the first requirement for the next graduation, who do you want to be? Because being a creator doesn't mean much. And land identity. You don't just identify identity. Intentity. What the fuck is that? I'll call it intensity now. No, but land identity means that you don't just identify yourself, you identify yourself and establish yourself somewhere. Okay. And if you're successful, and only if you're successful, you tier 3 in general. Okay? Being tier 3 in general is the crazy next level that very few people can handle. Let's say 5%? Am I being generous? 5% are managers. And then the top 1% are the mappers. The ones who know everything, so of course they're gonna be rich. I'm just kidding. But am I? I don't know. See, at some point, money does not matter. So being top richest 1% is more like, oh, we have to cut off this end of people. They don't really matter. You know, and just, they try to re-enter the society and their money starts burning. And we just have a chocolate rain, basically. Okay, we finally figured it out, you motherfucker. Is when rich people try to enter society. We can sing chocolate rain, finally. The proper occasion where it's appropriate. Thank you, YouTube. I couldn't do it without you, man. With all these stupid old memes. And sometimes new memes, okay? MattPet is quite a new meme. He has been around YouTube forever. Forever in his reign of influence. That's what happened, okay? For its 10 year of influence. MattPet has been forever. That's... And he's an old man MattPet right now. Old Pat. If not RatPat, he's Old Pat. Or DadPat, rather. Okay, so... I don't know. I'll just leave it there. I just felt something very strong, though, that, you know, if I had suffered through such a crazy graduation experience, where I simply just needed to say something, right? And you go from H to G, which is like, you graduated, congratulations. It's that easy? Yeah, you just have to do it every single day. Don't worry about it. Hey, sometimes you're gonna do a little bit more and you'll be able to, like, escape the need to graduate that day, but yeah, every day you fucking graduate. You have to say something. Okay. Once you graduate, you need to do something every day. So technically these rant videos are like fuel tanks of me fueling up the future. Otherwise people just gonna give up on me and like, well, you didn't graduate this day, so you kinda suck. You need to suck a dick now. A black dick. 4 black dicks, for example. No, dude. We're not doing a porno. Please. Please. I'll graduate again. Well, obviously I'm doing a crazy good job because I'm poor. I have nothing better to do. But essentially, there's the tipping point, basically, where I'm not just poor, I have entered some kind of completely new realm, realizing that what I've accumulated can be sold or something. The moment you realize that, like, it's crazy. The moment you realize, oh, I have a business now. That's how you make a business, basically. The best way to make a business is to wake up one day with a business. You know, it almost like that's how life works, okay? One day you wake up and you have it. You have something. It's a responsibility and a blessing at the same time, but that's it. That's how life works. Am I smart or what? Right? Am I allowed to say that? Because one day you wake up and you have this brilliant idea and it works, it sparks a business, and you know it's gonna spark a business. You know what's gonna happen next and next. Just because you have to establish a business, to identify yourself as a business to other people, that doesn't mean the business has not started, because business doesn't mean an entity, it means your activity, okay? It's an activity. Activity. You get an opportunity to do some kind of activity that's gonna grow you as a wealthy person. Congratulations. Let me shake your hand and then punch you in the face. I have too much anger. I can't control myself. I'm very sorry. It's my new business model, so it doesn't work. I will try and change it, but I'm still not a mature person. I'm trying not to be mature because I can't afford being serious, which is now a little bit more serious. So it kind of destroys itself for some reason. Maybe turns itself into a flower, for example. A flower, okay. Beauty matters. I think order matters more. So I'll just do this, motherfuckers. Get the fuck out of here. Beauty matters? You're almost there, dude. You almost said Black Lives Matter. B matters, okay. Yeah. Beauty lives matter. Oh my god. No. Order matters. Shut the fuck up. It's New World Order right there. Order makes things beautiful in a way. Order is like, well, someone created a character, you created a cosplay, and someone needs to fuck that cosplay right now to make porn. Congratulations, order, right there. Let's go. Ah, yes. Deflowered. Someone made a cosplay. You know what happens next, okay? I don't see enough cosplay porn, okay? It's crazy, but it's old school cosplays being played out because people are so insecure in porn industry. Please, someone help! Someone! Please! Taylor Swift. I will have to disown you to turn you into porn star. Just this once, man. Just kidding, I would not disown you because I still watch porn. But now it's actually the worst performing team. So please, what do I fucking do? What do I do? I do have a few... Yeah, so, to the porn team. Let's hide it, okay? Let's hide the word. Team Sexy. I promise to take more pictures. Thank you. Thank you, dude. It really helps when I now manage my gallery on my tablet. So I manage that. I pour pictures in, and every single time a picture stands out, I actually start tagging the picture of how many points it earned, and who did it in the first place. Who's the main person being took a shot off. And that's all I need in the end. This is all I need to entertain myself and just transcend over my fucking stupid fans or whoever knows me for anything. Bye bye. You don't know me anymore. I'm doing my own thing. That's the whole point. This is the only way to tease a bunch of rich and entitled pieces of shit, basically. Do your own thing, guys. Game developer, you game developer, get out of here. Do your own thing. Relax, okay? You're making us stressed out. I look into YouTube channels and they're fucking stressing me out. You know too much, you do too much research. Fucking chill, dude. Yeah, if you have 5 million subscribers, I understand what you're doing. And I'll steal all the money that you earn anyways. One way or the other, dude. Master communicator. Let's see if we can crack this open. I did skip the hour mark, so let's do it right now. Barely skipped. First hour completed. Haha, now I just need to... As you see, we just unlocked 9 locks. First hour. And I'll actually indicate that as well. How the fuck do I indicate it though? Regional indicator, what do I do? Hour number 1. How are we gonna symbolize hour number 1? I guess like this. Alright. So hour number 1, 9 locks. I believe it's actually 10. So I missed one. Yep. It's 10, 1, and 0. I'm doing this just to understand what I'm messing with right now. So I'm breaking down the locks. Actually, I can do it like this. I can see how many locks left after an hour of progress. Alright, this is so stupid, but it works. Not gonna lie, it works. Expensive smart keys. This probably references the locks itself, and again, I actually just said the reference of like, I feel like I'm in a game show opening pretty expensive locks right now. This is crazy. You bet, man. And it's a really nasty situation where some YouTubers will realize, as much as we have been trying to work, we have been lazy this whole time, and work was just a simulation. What has been happening for... What have I been doing this whole time? Again, if you're not following your passion, you will feel lazy automatically, or you can be exposed as lazy. You're not following your passion. Crazy that is. You cannot be exposed when you are a child, but you can definitely be exposed when you now have a certain amount of influence on the internet. That is just the pivot of expose, motherfuckers. Lazy, you can turn yourself into a statue if you don't have a passion to follow. And follow it quickly. Work hard. But not too hard, you know? Sometimes hard work is lazy work. Whoops. Because nobody can force themselves. That's why it means hard work sometimes is lazy work. Because it's hard to force yourself. Whatever you're trying to force yourself to do, not easy, man. You let yourself do things. You let yourself follow the fashion and smell the passion and like just, what smells so good? Let me check. Who said this nice thing? Let me check. Let me look at that. That's the way you become a decent person. Otherwise, you're just evil. And evil enough to like settle down. Okay, if you're a creator, you encounter this evil within yourself, and you know that graduation process for you is gonna be so fucking tough to do. No matter what you're doing, you don't not finding it within yourself. So usually, what graduation process is kind of like beating yourself up. You beat yourself up, but if other people beat you up by being nice, then you actually not graduating. So if you beat yourself hard enough where nobody wants to talk to you, that's graduation right there. It might have changed, but it didn't, because I graduated twice. Means I became talented and I became a creator. And both in these processes, I have had to beat myself up so fucking badly, where nobody can talk to me anymore. Nobody can say anything to me anymore. I'm just the craziest person ever. And it worked. Okay? I found another crazy person, and I talked about her, but not in the rant. And I call her Double F. Because she's kind of on a loser end of the spectrum, okay? Still above graduation level, though. But Double F is like, well, I just graduated. No, you don't just graduate. You let yourself be passionate. Again, that's exactly what it means. Don't just graduate. Accumulate resources so you can relax when something terrible happens in your life. You're gonna get knocked out all the way to the bottom. You have to reaccumulate all these things, and it's all about mostly not just resources, mostly, it's self-esteem or like influential abilities, which self-esteem brings, but it's mostly just that, mostly your ego, okay? Ego is the greatest resources. Accumulate ego. So you can say, you can almost talk about it replaceively. Either it's ego or resources. Alright, so let's just keep moving. Wow, so we literally just talked about it. Non-graduates. Some people don't even know what graduation really is about, so they just got somewhere and they're like so happy, but they become super amazingly slow. They jumped over a wall and now they just snail around because they don't know that there are actually more barriers in life than just like, oh, get a good job, which is it's not going to be a good job because you can't actually compare yourself to other people. You just got something. You got a job. You didn't got a good job. So it's just, most people commit everything to break their first barrier. So just like the same way of like, I will commit everything to not be a virgin. And you do that, and it kind of gives you a boost of self-identity, but it doesn't work out in the end, does it? What are you gonna do? You have to come to my Discord and try and trash me. Surely, like, if you're in a private space, like, it's the craziest thing ever. Being in a private space, I get self-esteem. Obviously, if I have to go into an arena against someone, and we already set up the rules, basically. But there's no way to do it. This is a very interesting point. It's actually difficult to go outside your space. You don't want to do it. At least I don't want to go outside my space. Why should I do it? Maybe I'm too graduated, so like too high tier, so I understand what my space represents. If I'm uncomfortable with something, I have a risk of losing. Nobody wants to have a risk of losing, okay? And arena can't be set up where both people win unless it's very, very smart arena and something that is not a scam. This is very, very tough, right? So potentially, arena where only one person wins is a scam. You might be able to out-scam the scam, but not everyone is going to be sign up for it. People will sign up for their deaths. You know, that's a crazy little thing where the Hunger Games scenario, people know what to do, people are signed up to kill each other, and they're just gonna consent to that and they're gonna do it. Otherwise, they're gonna be attacked, but like, why don't you just let someone else attack you? Why are the districts so willing to kill each other, basically, and enslave themselves? It's not easy to be attacked, especially when the government presents you with weapons already. And they might not even have a kill switch on the arena. So, it's kind of interesting, I would say. It's kind of fucking interesting. At least, so Hunger Games is a lose-lose scenario, basically. Whatever happened there. Don't try to win Hunger Games. Try to stop it. And resist. Because people already sign up for death anyway, so it should be easy to stop these people. What the fuck is wrong, right? Just stop it. Just win with a group of people and then stop. Okay? If there's someone sign up, not just for death, but to kill other people, or they're just blinded by their abilities to kill other, that's crazy. But this is a very interesting thing. For me, this is why Hunger Games is a rich meme. And I have J-Law to thank for that at the moment. She is barely a graduate of this concept. It's kind of sad, actually. Because you're not getting any points for me right now. Even though I'm talking about you on my rant, I still don't know how much and how to give influence points. I literally cripple myself constantly about these numbers. Because they have to be so fucking precise. It's like nuclear launch codes for me. It's fucking weird. But yeah, I can't just give Jennifer Lawrence a point and not feel like I have died inside, basically. So that's exactly what I will do, only to her. Only she gets 1 point. I don't know, I feel like a visual coder already. But I know I need a better software if I want to do ray tracing. Because, let's just jump in and see, what am I trying to visualize here? How can you visualize this exact thing? Wait, how do you fucking have a transparent phone? How is this fucking possible, though? Where are all the chips? Where's the How? What is it? What the fuck? Okay. Yeah, there's some things I want to learn now. I don't know how to treat my video, so I'm just gonna leave it hanging for now. Give myself a little break. I'm trying to master this. Obviously, communicator means that I don't just spit a video on a YouTube page. It's quite incredible. It's quite mind-blowing what people are doing right now. But again, most people are very serious one time. okay, and you can identify that. They're also extra serious when they get success. So, bonus serious for success. Okay, so you get success, you inch a little bit forward, you release a new video, you have your format, so it has to like continue on, because you have to prove that you have been serious. But it doesn't necessarily get proven each time. You just kind of point back that, oh, I made a channel, guys. I'm still an active channel, guys. So, I can only touch that log by 1. I would love to be a master communicator, of course. What makes me a master communicator, actually, is that I have to know about a lot of things. And have to know the landscape of YouTube and communicate that to other people of how I feel. The feelings there's a lot of things, okay? As I'm growing as a person, I want to communicate every aspect of my life. It's actually quite interesting. And in a very straightforward format. Not something you can look at and wish to have for yourself. It's more like you wish to know now. As I'm spitting points, you wish to know what my life is, what my interests are. Again, you have to be reminded you're interacting with one person here. And you can always step down. I'm pretty sure banks kind of own themselves as a business, but it's still kind of shady. Just like police can be decentralized, banks can be decentralized into people. Even internet can be decentralized to people. This is when I'm gonna make the point about 5G torrent. Torrent was the first decentralization thing that allowed people to access games for free, you know? And now you became the seed. You became the person who banks the game code, so everyone else can access it too. Torrent, guys. I actually don't have a torrent anymore. I don't download games or movies anymore. I straight up go into either a hacked website that stores all this shit, and I can watch stuff from there if I really have to access some Netflix shit. But mostly I just need to see how Ariana Grande was doing, okay? How are you doing, Salmon Cat? Cat girl? You know, like, come on. But that's about it. I actually gave up on that. On this illegal stuff. In a way. But I think it's perfectly legal. My birth doesn't think that way, but that's what government wants you to think. But essentially, almost everything will start getting decentralized. And one other master thing that I do is actually indicator of these things specifically. Everything that's getting decentralized, I have to indicate so I can at least grab onto it and adopt it in my life immediately. Like become a bank, become a police, become a medic, become all these support groups that you will need and like essentially turn myself into a life coach. So if I point the finger up, this finger allows me to be life coach. I remember life coach was actually a Hearthstone player. Fuck that guy. Is my life supposed to freeze upon every turn that I gaze on a Hearthstone board? Yes, that is true, okay? Every turn you rope people. That's what you do, motherfucker. Maybe not the first few turns. You have to let people rope themselves. First few turns. To show that they're noobs to the game. But whenever you're presented with a lot of choices, it's actually quite fascinating to just think, do a few predictions beforehand. I like to be fast, so fuck that idea. Fuck that meme. But I'm talking about decentralization constantly pours into the concept of life coaching. Meaning that you can do things on your own. You don't have to rely on the authorities or the government because they present you with half-assed solutions and you don't feel empowered to control your life. Again, that's the first thing that has to happen. When you're being life coached, you have to get your control back. Otherwise, there's no reason to life coach you. Someone else is gonna take away all that progress, and nothing will change in your life. Nothing can possibly change in your life. Okay, so double finger up. But life coaching works on who have or want self-control. So obviously, if you don't have self-control, it means so many more things as well. It feels like because you're controlled by the government, you actually are a more dangerous person to everyone else. Simply because of how you behave. You don't respect other people that much. You don't think that they have or should have any control or influence in your life. So you're gonna be quite a nasty little wolf, basically, trying to bite back, just feeding you the ability to escape, basically. It's like you're the dog that has been tied up, but you still want to bite anyone who tries to let you escape, basically. Sometimes escape means nothing, you know, you're just gonna be found by your master and locked up again. That's why he did it in the first place, to have the dog that's now angry at everyone. Maybe except the master, because the master still has to feed the dog, so it's still a double lock in a way. It's still a bond, not just a neglect entirely. Otherwise, there's so many dimensions, even on the same problem. Like, if the master isn't feeding the dog, you might be able to actually feed the dog and make yourself the master, eventually. Secretly feed the dog, and then loosen it up and all of a sudden take ownership. Because you still have to take ownership of something that you have done, right? You can't just loosen someone out of their cage. You might want to introduce life to them. You know, if you're not happy and you just let someone go out into the real world, you're just gonna get fire trucked. And their life ends there. Because all you were feeding was false hopes. And you were just poking, basically. You're poking a monster, in that sense. Anyways, I will take a little break now. See how that works out for me. Back for more. I still need to push down the light button because I can't see the keyboard. Oh my god, no. But basically, and I forgot the point. Actually, oh yeah. If it was so hard for me to survive, sanity must be rare. Now the question of whether it's precious or not. Wow. Who doesn't want to ignore this part immediately? It's so stupid, honestly. Sanity is not only rare, it is precious, but nobody knows how to fucking embrace it anymore. We're forgetting something, aren't we? Yeah, while we move forward, we're forgetting the other thing that doesn't move quite as well, as we're kind of sacrificing it and just surviving with a decent amount of sanity intact. I kind of maximize that sanity. That's why it's a little bit harder for me to survive when that's all I am, in a way. If I lose it, I lose everything. And it's a huge risk. It's a little bit of an insane risk. But at the same time, like, obviously I'm not just going all in into sanity. I just want to have it. You know? It's fucking weird. I just want to make sure that I can maximize sanity and it doesn't get me in trouble. Because otherwise, if the world is insane and doesn't appreciate it at all, even though it's a rare thing, yeah, you can treat it as your enemy, but you don't need to. You know? There's certain things that you wouldn't treat as your enemy, ever. So it's definitely one of those things. Just because someone is rich, you don't treat them as an enemy, you just have to push them away and let them handle their stuff. They can be an enemy if they're trying to be influential. If a sane person is trying to steal sanity from you, you steal sanity from yourself as well at the same time. It's a weird... Stealing is just a weird concept in general. I don't even want to talk about it. Might as well just keep going where I'm going. We did quite a lot of work. It's halfway there. Not yet ready to mark anything. Halfway there in 3 hours, technically. So, yeah, I'm not expecting rants to be daily. But every single time, like, every single day now, since past 5 days, I have been fighting the smoking hazard in my home. Like, who set him on fire? Who set my dad on fire? Like, literally. In a literal fucking sense. And he has to pay money for it. Like, if you're not brain dead, I don't know, man. Why am I here? I'm not here to fix fucking people that pretty much wronged me by being wrong people, giving me a wrong life, and I'm trying to fucking undo the impossible, basically. Fucking negate their existence in the first place because they did something wrong 2 times over. They did wrong to themselves, and they did wrong to each other. They did wrong in general to the rest of the society. Because I was a part of society for a test period, right? Like, test period is school, currently. You go through school, you kind of should be able to make a few friends or just an idea of what happens next in your life. Right? If I can't get a job, I'm not a part of society because I can't get enough money to be influential, and it's kind of game over, basically. In that sense. Unless someone has been fucking me over this whole time. I can't just go out into the real world and face capitalism. My value is sanity. I can't just go out there and do things. Get things. I can't repeat myself forever, but for some reason I probably will have to, just because of the projection of values that people see. When they project no values whatsoever, they just spit out what you should be doing when they're not gonna help you do it. And then, once I get myself moving, I get out. I get out of evil situations. It's not just me who's supposed to be a superhero out of the blue, man. Just out of the blue, get all the tools, get everything, become a superhero. No, that doesn't happen. You cannot become a superhero from a cage. Frustrations. Just so anyone knows whether I'm serious or not. Because the new part of me is going to be established in the future needs to have this information, if this ever happens, that for a long time I've been struggling to move forward. And this struggle turned into something else. Something that I can struggle because I have to do it, But it's just some sanity work. Something that every traumatized person should do, and quickly. If you can wait it out, that's congratulations. You're not actually being wronged in the first place. They're the ones who are supposed to be under attack. I don't have freedom. I don't have opportunities. And you think that I do? You might be able to think that later, after I survive this landscape currently. Right? So these words almost like don't speak to the haters if they're out there. But here you go. I just need like a ramming speed, basically, right? Like, let's move forward. A kickstart, so to speak. And yes, because I'm so serious, I'll be serious with everyone else that are part of the adventure that I'm going through. Every new person I take more and more seriously, while they might not be able to afford being serious at all. And so they will drop the relationship immediately, just like they have been doing thus far. But that will not stop, because they can't afford not being serious at some point as well. It's just become a swinging pendulum of when seriousness can happen outside people. When they have to make a big choice in their life and they're fully confronted about it, they'll make the choice. But for some reason they can't afford being serious because of their wish list, okay? Because they're fat of everything in the world has to offer. So they keep on taking new things into their life because they think things for granted, and then essentially being serious is unaffordable. You're just something, You're just a degenerate person in someone's life. But that's because they downgrade you to be able to afford you. Why should you talk to a person who takes something as a downgraded version? You care about someone who takes same price though. The price stays the same, but the version that they take, they adopt, is downgraded from what's truly potentially possible, right? That's what it means to take something for granted. It means to have something less of a value even though it has, a price attached. Something you have to meet. You have to meet the price of something. Yeah, and money allows, again, stupid people not to think. They only have to think about one thing that will screw them over in that sense, because, well, scams are everywhere. Money is the biggest scam of all time. Because it's designed for stupid people. It's literally designed for stupid people to be workaholics and to actually work for other stupid people who are aggressively stupid. And the more aggressively stupid you are, like, you will grab as much money as you can possibly get and take it away from the smart people who are competing against you, but they're doing it too slow. Because they're smart, they don't want risks. So they get outcompeted. What happens next? Nothing happens next. You're just running a shitty business. And you slowly lose self-esteem, and that business gets destroyed by the stupid people you elected as your employees in the first place. You basically destroy your environment by remaining aggressively stupid, embracing money as the greatest good of all time. And you attract leeches who do figure out that you're stupid, that you only care about stupid people getting money because they're doing a stupid job for you. You know, you're happy because you gave someone a stupid job, but you're not realizing that a stupid person took your stupid job, and now you're stupid in the end. And in the end, that's what happens when you build companies that are outrageously big. Okay? Motivation matters the most. And you know what else motivates you is to make things efficient. But essentially, efficiency often enough can cross into scam territory, where it's just, it is possible, but you're not seeing the full picture of the consequences. Everything is possible, but have we spent enough time to adopt what's currently possible and stop trying to reach out for the future possibilities? Because every time you can just reach out to accidentally grab a piece of mass destruction of humanity's technology, you know, what happened? There's something stuck on your hand now. Can't get rid of that thing, can you? The dangers are everywhere. And sanity really helps at least laugh at the dangers with, like, constantly exploding head, like, well, at least I can die happy now, leaving the world as it is. If it doesn't save me, it doesn't deserve me. It just pretty obvious. And if I am not compelled to feel bad about it, about the entire thing, like, that's also gonna just alleviate me from all the pain of what dying might look like. I don't know. It's the stupidest thing, obviously. So what does the Lucid talk about schools? Pretty obvious things on knowing that, yes, you're supposed to add information into people by brute force, drain their energy, make them susceptible to the stupidity rather than being smart and making your own decisions. In school, there's so much force going on, but they're not aware, maybe, what happens when you traumatize people with school. What is the backlash of that? Because I always like to pinch people who are trying too many tricky bullshit things. I get it. You can introduce a trick to a child. If you do it wrong, if you don't let me go of my school duty, in a way, when I get uncomfortable, and I was able to run away at 10th grade, the moment when I actually started picking up speed with adventure crafts, at 10th grade, finishing up, I said, like, I kind of want to just get out of the 12th one. I think I was at 11th grade. I said, I'll quit at 12th one. I don't want to spend another year, basically, at school because it's so fucking useless. Obviously, there's the convincing factor that you can't easily defeat. So instead, let's look at it a different way. Let's look at it, what is the possible thing you can learn from school? What is the best thing you can learn from school? How to make your game a little bit more efficient when you're inside. Now, again, most people are not going to be in school when they watch this video. But that doesn't mean anything, because school is never over. The same trick is going to be played out over and over again. It's a trick that never really dies. Alright, so what else do we have? So what is this trick then? What are you learning at school? You basically put into the... It's more like a bottleneck technology to create social tension. Social groups cannot be really created through bottleneck effect, but they can be controlled to, I don't know, it's almost like a freezing effect. You put people a little bit too close and they freeze over, they traumatize themselves, basically, each other. We don't need grown-ups constantly bossing us around and traumatizing us directly. We let schools do it. It means each other. We let each other do it. Each other's parenting is gonna get bleeded around, basically. So it's more of a freezing effect of water as socialism, basically, of just people being social. But in schools, it's even worse than that. You're grouped up. You have pretty much no freedom to choose much at all. What does that fucking mean, right? How can you live without choices? Well, what kind of choices you can make? And what kind of trick is that? Where choices are also taken away from you. Does that happen in real life? It's a weird one, right? Because it's staring right at you. It's like, get a job. A choice presented without an option to say no. You can't even say no to that. You have to get a job, which is okay. But that's the trick, right? That's the trick. You say yes to a job, you might lose the ability to adjust your job. 2. You must be able to say no. You must be able to say no to school as well. One day, whenever you feel bad, not that you're sick, you just feel bad, you should be able to say no. You should be able to say no to certain job conditions too. That is what's being tricked here. Your ability to say no to conditioning is being tricked. It's the first and foremost trick that happens. Whether it's intended or not, it doesn't matter. This is the effect that you're gonna have in schools. Because if it's intended, you know, like, it's almost like a conspiracy theory. And we don't want to fall under that radar. But I just like to mention it for what it is. Yeah, because conspiracy theories attack authorities, while we have to attack the entire establishment and everyone who's getting tricked, who's making the trick stronger, who's stepping in the way and says, I'm the authority figure. You can take the blame then. You're not going to take the good things out of it. You're not going to intimidate me that you're an authority figure if I'm not happy. And the rest is up to you as well, to check whether a trick bothers you enough to overinvest in the first place. If you can just say no to the conditioning later on and escape, essentially, you can change your behavior based on that as well. Okay. Why we should learn at schools? You're not supposed to learn. You get it, right? So you get that like minimal grade. You know you're not supposed to make jokes as well, am I? I was the only person in school who sneaked in the best joke ever, so nobody patted me on the back because I didn't say... If when you do the best joke ever, fuck that, okay? But when biology teacher was like reading through notes that we had to take, I wrote down what geologists are studying, basically. What are they... Not even studying, like what did they do? And I said, they're investigating or studying the smell of shit, basically. I was already primed to be against science since school times. Since very old school times, by the way, as well. This was at grade 8. So I already was not interested, basically. No, not interested what geologists do. Apparently they don't, yeah. These are the not the ones who study rocks. They but do they? No, but they do. They study Earth. The depth. The ground, basically. That's kind of fucking lame. This is so specific and stupid. Something I would never put into my head, so I just wrote a joke instead. And, fuck it. The geologist teacher just pointed it out, and, like, everyone laughed, and I'm a little bit embarrassed, but now I see, like, this is ridiculous. You know? It's ridiculous that I'm the only one who did it in the first place. Was uncomfortable enough to where, like, fuck it, you know. I'll just say that. I don't care anymore. And again, it's just a great problem. You get a bad grade, whatever. In my position, if I had bad grades, I would not be able to reach high school the same way But when I was young, I didn't care at all. Getting good grades wasn't that big of a challenge. You know, like... And it is still valuable until it becomes difficult. Just like my programming was valuable and was done fast until it became unbearable. The loading time, I just bumped into a wall of insanity, basically. And if it doesn't just click into place, I have to walk around it 10 times the distance of trying to research what exactly was I missing this whole time. Which is what I have to do right now. I can't put objects in place, even motionless objects. Are you kidding me? I can't even put blocks where the objects would land automatically with just a snap. I should be able to do that super quick. And even that was not happening. So now I'm just completely out of touch with how my system works, apparently. I'm super challenged again. And we'll see. We'll see where it all goes down. It really doesn't... It really has very little to do with school, but the way we sneaked into that territory is that the moment something becomes difficult is the moment it loses value fast. Really fucking fast, man. No way. You can try and pick up a skill. You realize when you're talented, picking up other skills becomes a big-ass chore. And if you made that chore unbearable, if your main talent competes with other chores you have to do, fuck you, man. You're gonna struggle to be creator. And that's just second tier. That is not the pivot of all life ever. And yeah, you can probably get to the next level anytime you want. As long as you live. But as long as you live is not defined by your death. It is defined by you dying and you starting to lose more than you gain in life. And who knows how that works. I can't even talk about that. I just say 40 years should be pretty solid. Should be able to achieve the best of the best ranking ever. Anyways, and you don't have to be not sleeping less than 8 hours a day or whatever. You don't even have to be not lazy. You just have to follow your passions and learn what is useful and what is not useful. What is pain and what is successful. Just pure pain. Smoking fucking hazard. Everything that he did, quantifiable in like 500 euros, okay? It all cancels out. We're gonna figure out whether it cancels out or not. Over time. I don't want to do it now. But, every day, would you live with the smoking hazard? Would you fucking do it? How much would that cost for a day? If you really value health, I would say at least 20 euros a day. Right now it's 100. Right now he's at 100. Minimum. I'm just talking minimum. But he's stupid. And he's doing extra work to make me upset, stressed out, and really not appreciate what he's doing at all. Because who knows, maybe it's not as valuable as intended. It's not gonna be 500 euros, it's just he had to spend that much. But I'm not gonna dig deeper into that. I'm just gonna be, yeah, you're fine. It all comes back around when the consequences start rolling in. So I just let the entire thing go through, because I'm smart, but that makes me slow, right? No, that's just, I do my own thing. I don't bother with that at all. You see me doing my own thing, like, what the fuck? What do you mean slow? By allowing things to process. Everyone allows everyone to process things. When something is processing, you actually want to stay out of the way. Which is why I didn't speak when I was writing. I was processing what I'm gonna put down. Sometimes I can narrate what I'm thinking I'm writing. They're not necessarily the same. So yeah, I see it as a process. I see it as a clear ending. If he stands in my way, he knows what's gonna happen. He's gonna make me very angry. I try not to be angry in general, because that doesn't work. Okay? Not against the smoking hazard. Someone who's constantly making you uncomfortable and in pain, and constantly makes you think about him. You know, because if you can't get away from the smell, it means so much. Is a demon name, okay? It's a real fucking demon name. I'm glad it's my parent too, you know? So it's a demon that's trying to help. Thank you. That's so beautiful. You know? Maybe you should try and replace yourself with something else. Just try, you know? Just do the magic trick and try and replace yourself. Maybe that's gonna be the most helpful thing ever. You know? Figure out whether I like you or not. Whether I can tolerate you or not. Whether I can talk to you or not. Fuck yeah, dude. Try and replace yourself. So, yeah. There you go. They're causing more harm, I say. And if the, you know, the effects linger of any kind, if he comes back and has to fucking stay here or something. Some weird shit, if he has bad plans. Obviously there's more. I didn't quantify the stress level, whether it's positive or not. Most of the time it's going to be positive if I can handle it. If I was in low stress or in a different stress situation. So if it's a new kind of stress, it's just stressology, guys. That's a lot. What do geologists do? I don't care. You know, just in school you're presented with information that you don't care. What do I do with that information? I don't know what I will apply that information for in the future. There's no story to back it up. It's not like I'm remembering some kind of cool story that was told. And yes, you can grade that effort, but this is why grades don't matter in the end. This is what point he was trying to make. And he was, again, as a 19-year-old, he just graduated, technically. And 1 year ago he made this video. So, should you learn? You should learn to your capacity of being able to care naturally, and you should, you know, take care of that capacity too, and just so much more. There's so much to care, basically. There's so much to care about. it's quite interesting. But the more computers and internet got introduced, things got quite a lot more difficult. Because you want to go back and like experience things. Like there's so many more things. So much cooler than school, obviously. And now you have to learn a completely different set of skills where you're finding what's truly important. Because school is more of a challenge than an actual, system of trust. You can't fully trust something that just gathers people together. It's something you have to learn as well. But once you understand that it does gather people together, it can be useful. You cannot just fully trust that everything in it is going to be good, or you have to follow everything, get the best grades. Everything is a trap in that sense. But if you once you understand that, it's a lot easier to process. I think at some point I understood I don't want the best grades. It's fine. I can relax that territory. I don't feel like I'm being bullied by teachers. I can just calmly pick up whatever is easy to pick up and just leave the rest hanging. I was good at math. I liked math because it was a substitute for programming in a way. A substitute for problem solving and like a actual real problem solving. So that's why I picked up. It's a concrete problem solving. There is pretty much no other solution when you're doing math. The only question is like how fast can you do it as well. But otherwise, you're trying to get to the most correct solution. Oh wait, there's only one. But technically, you realize, yeah, math does not apply to the real world. In the real world, the math works completely differently, and it's called logic. Okay? Use logic, and programming is a little bit closer to logic than math. I think math is quite useless in a way, as well as everything else you learn in school. So it's its own world. Technically, you can call it the language of the universe, but you can't. It's not relevant. And not related to science. Who would have thought, right? No, it's not dependent on science, I suppose. But it's actually quite is. But maybe dependent on the government science. Because that's where it exists. But the real question, yeah, I mean, do I use math in general? Like, that's a very big question. You look at the math, it's like math is like language, right? Yeah, now I see it. I have to use it, because that's the only thing I have. And that's cool, you can apply general ideas, but again, they become difficult, you drop them immediately. Okay? It loses its value. It's like only a few people now can apply this difficult solution, because only a few people will be able to find a difficult problem exactly like that. So the only thing you can learn in school is just abstraction of what it means to be challenged by these different kind of problems as well. So they have their own types. There's a lot basically to unpack. It almost would be interesting to go back to school and just to see what I would do to relive school years if, they let me be a part of a class or something. What would happen? So, it's compelling to me. What would I do if I get to relive 9 to 12 grades. Very compelling. If I could start school and end school and skip some grades at some points, basically. But skipping is kind of a weird thing. But basically move from grade to grade, right? Like, that's what I'm thinking here. Freely. If you can go up and down any way you want. Make things a little bit more difficult or less difficult. So the final thing that he took out is, like, we're all taught to compete. If you get a better grade, you can shove it in people's face. I got a better grade than you. Huh. That's not relevant at all. And again, if you come out of school with that mindset and make 500,000 subscribers, I mean, fuck yeah, dude. But the mindset is, you know, the grades don't matter. That's congratulations, you made it, basically, unharmed by the grade system. Because the real competition is for the teacher to outcompete your own self-esteem influence, right? Where you need the 10 all the time. You will not be able to get the perfect grade all the time. That's just impossible. It's just a simple truth you have to learn. You will never have a perfect relationship with someone and meet all their expectations, basically. And someone who wants to do it, someone who wants to keep their job 100% of the time, is gonna have to suffer greatly, because you never know what those expectations are. You have to suck up to someone else to be able to do your job. So it goes hand in hand with having a job or with having any kind of other relationship that you can screw up expectations, because you will, and you must not go into a fight about it, because their expectation should never be that the other person or whoever they like it to be is going to get a perfect score. It's going to do things perfectly. That's never going to happen. Just like Hearthstone is pissing me off sometimes, I get it. It's a shitty relationship, and it's also one-sided in a way, so it's extra shitty. But it's an example of, once you understand the grade system fully, what it really means in the real world after its unperfect head pops out. But it's gone. The grade system is gone when you out of school. How do you unlearn this? You can't just forget about everything. You have to unlearn the bad parts and figure out what actually matters in the end. What have you actually experienced that makes sense to you? So, yeah, why don't we just bring my dad in here and say we don't have a perfect relationship? Guess what? We're not even having a relationship in the first place. And it's not perfect either, the way we don't have a relationship. I don't know. It's the most confusing shit ever. Don't suck up to someone. Don't have too many hopes for them. You know how the school goes, right? You know how the cheating works as well into the grade system. People are trying to break your expectations through cheating. Get the best grade possible. And if you can't detect that properly, you're gonna be in trouble as well. Because someone just completely should have gotten your attention, basically. Wow, you're getting the best grade possible. Who are you, basically? You should be able to put extra responsibility for everyone who gets the perfect grade. Because they're learning super fast. They're perfect learners, so might as well learn more. You know, just because you're good at something doesn't mean you're gonna escape responsibility, and that's how you beat cheats. To beat a cheater, increase responsibility. And again, it's just simply getting a 10 shouldn't be a goal. But it shouldn't be teacher's goal either, to give a 10. So yeah. And after all, competition isn't bad, as long as it's interesting and worthwhile. Beat a cheater. Now, holy shit, is it difficult for me to make these videos. I think I need a bite again. Who needs food these days? What the fuck? Okay, back on track. We actually approached second hour. Does this look like a wholesome video? Hopefully. And we unlocked everything but 610. So we can look the other way around and see the 10 left. It's 1 and 0. Should be pretty easy. As long as this edit takes place. What happened? That is weird. What is happening? Discord? Thank you. Fucking fool. Alright, let's see if we unlock all the logs, basically. Last hour. First of all, I don't care of YouTube as a whole thing. I don't know what to say. Sorry about that. I don't know why is it not working immediately right now. I don't know what's going on, what's glitching around here. I'll reset Discord entirely. What the fuck? What do you want from me? I'm just old man. Doesn't even load. What the fuck is going on? What the fuck? Are we ready now? Alright, so yeah, in schools grades don't matter, but in real life they don't matter either, because they represent someone's expectations from you. What do they want from you? What task they gave you to do? And all of a sudden, yeah, it's a task system, and then there's the employment system. If you do tasks too poorly, you should be unemployed. But technically, that doesn't really happen exactly the same way, because employment does not grade people, which is interesting. People are mostly put on the edge of like, I will fire you, basically. No, people, actually it would be amazing. It would be amazing if a grade system existed on workplaces. Then I would be able to be competitive, which proves that competition also is very useful, and understand what I can change about what, you know, how to get a better grade. Who do I talk to, basically. It creates a completely next level system where schools are now better than workplaces all of a sudden. Who would have thought, huh? He just finished school, okay? He doesn't know what jobs are technically, so Lucid can go fuck himself, basically, because I had to go through way worse than that shit. We're all taught to compete. Oh no! I outcompeted you on this one. You saying how to compete is a crybaby move, actually. So, a job volunteer is a situation where, again, I did it, and now it's coming back to me as like it's something you're supposed to be doing quite often, just because, you know, employment opportunities, you need to touch them physically, you have to take them for whatever it's being offered to you. I've lost a job just because, like, well, I'm not gonna pay for training, that sort of stuff. Are you fucking kidding me? I didn't know what to say back because I wasn't really in control of the entire situation. I hoped it was fucking handled by paper, but nobody handles things through paper. So essentially, it was my first interview that I failed, successfully failed, because like I'm supposed to fail everything. Congratulations. I'm not gonna pay for training, and you shouldn't, as a business wise person, basically. But you know what he did pay for? Water. Because apparently water is very expensive in a restaurant. Holy fucking shit. And I didn't have any money. I was pretty broke at that point. I remember myself pretty broke. Struggling because I was running out while not going through education. I was not getting the bonuses that I would otherwise get. My mom, for some reason, was also struggling in that case too. So I don't know what was exactly going on in my life when I took this thing. I was struggling because I was going through the job seeking process as well. So you must know that I was struggling in the first place. That I even dipped so low. But yeah, I could have made myself more efficient all the way back. But I had nobody to talk to who has went through a similar phase or phases or whatever. Like, there's no consultation whatsoever. It's like, you know, maybe you see now that my parents would have helped a lot. Even when you're in a child scare, in an orphanage situation, you get other children trying maybe to do something. But again, that's a nasty place to end up in. That's like, yeah, people need to know who they're talking to. People need to respect you very, very much. If you survive the orphanage, the children's care homes, holy shit, man. Because you're not gonna get guidance at all. These are just women who try and manage children from not dying. But that's all they do. You don't prepare children for the next level achievements. But you can still achieve higher education. I have no doubt about that. You can still do pretty well being generic human being in that sense. Except like you don't have safety nets or zero mana rents. Okay, zero mana 7-7 right there. Fuck yeah, that's what I need. That's home right there. Home sweet home. Alright, so you get the idea. Tech holding is a disaster, okay? Technically it's your gateway to society. Just contribute all the useless tech you have and we're gonna redistribute it based on the efficiency levels of whatever tech we can still resurrect from the dead. Every tech that you have unused, just like every home you have unused. Okay? It's the same thing. All tech or unused, all unused tech, homes. You know, tech actually covers everything, but you have to, like, maybe there's more. Unused what? What kind of resources can be unused? There's all kind of tech as well. There's key to society, basically. You want to be a part of society, you have to contribute everything that's unused and claim, you know, it's like a pawn shop on steroids, because it's supposed to be a huge place where people understand prices and they can confidently pick up something from you because they know what it's worth exactly, basically. Well, not exactly. It doesn't. They don't know what it's worth to you, but they know what it's worth to society. So you get the coupon. If you want to take it back as well, why not? But if it's sold, it's sold. That's another thing. So this whole process should be available, and everything should be valuable and organizable as well. What is unused? Homes, even clothes. Wow. And then you get dirt cheap, and obviously this sort of thing is against capitalism. If you don't see the bullshit here of what capitalism actually outshadows right now. We can't get free stuff anymore, or cheap stuff, or we don't know where to access that stuff. It's a little bit too confusing right now. It's not a big ass business that can redistribute things, and it's outshadowed by capitalism because capitalism actually made it cheaper to manufacture and not reorganized or resell something. So it's kind of interesting, actually. It made it cheaper and wiser as well, in a way, because technology keeps on upgrading. But what about homes? Can homes, like, give a clue of what's actually going on? Yeah, we can build new homes and we can restore homes too, and we need to. Restoring homes is pretty good. So, and then there's people who actually keep it unused. Sometimes it's unused because it's almost like a work of art and it's never meant to be lived by someone you don't trust. So there's some trust issues, whatever, right? And we're not saying like it's gonna be $0 cost. It's just gonna be a giveaway. But it's a very important part of society where you figure out what you have plenty of, and the price should become quite significantly low, where people shouldn't necessarily want to buy it anymore because we have plenty. But that's another interesting thing, right? The prices would start fluctuating so much more because of this thing. So it doesn't necessarily have a direct solution here, and it can create a unwanted expectations, basically, as well, where you forcefully introduce something into the market, in a way, or at least scare people or make them insecure about this having something. But it's still very, very good pressure, I think. Most importantly, just to be able to contribute. Just your contribution matters. So you might get even extra karma points or whatever, just for hanging around in these places. Just by being a part of that. Just, I don't know how that looks like. I'm trying to imagine. It's very interesting. I'll give it a star. The Epic Pawn Shop. Because you might not even do that. Because it's such a big deal. You might even go into the date territory. Just, yeah, I watch too much porn and pawn shops are actually included. So maybe, because dating is a key of society, because dating relates so much to this entire outcome, it would actually be drawn here. I'll just say it's kind of hanging around closely related here. And this would be my out as well. It's like, who's looking for a date? Exactly, you know. Who's hanging around just looking for a date? Generally. Because in this situation, people would need to state their business. And it's just, it's a very commonplace. So all of a sudden, this might be included. Naturally. Now, because this is now piquing my interest so much that it got a star, I will not be able to stop that easily. So yeah, you can see how a simple thing like a tag holding is creating a question mark. What is it supposed to do here? Why am I looking into the future so damn much? I don't know. By the way, we kind of talked about the dad thing. The dad joke is 100 out of 500. And guess what? I'm gonna take... so his travel expenses don't concern me whatsoever, okay? You do what you do you. But if you're capable of rewarding me with something useful, I'll take that into account. Congratulations. And just because he's annoying, 10. I don't know how much I value my health, okay? So take away 20 each day. But holy fucking shit do I hate it. Incrementally, basically. And I might find more expenses. I'll stick a 2. I'll actually stick a 3 to this one because we found a star. And again, the grade doesn't matter here either. I just use the grade as this identity of we're going all the way to 100. If we get an X, our act gets a little bit different based on that because we're so excited, but we want to try and do a good job. We're not supposed to be there because it's so high. But we don't want to let ourselves down by stopping right away. So we're gonna be there anyways, you know. I'm not gonna turn around. You mean I'm supposed to turn around? What do you mean? What do you mean I'm not supposed to be there? But it's a meme now, and we're gonna... You're not supposed to watch this video, for example. What are you gonna do now? Figure it out. I don't know if I can even finish all these points. It's quite fascinating. We hit a breakthrough. 29 is perfect, basically. Perfect. So distance management, this is exactly what I was talking about. I made sure I have enough work. Okay, don't Don't be lazy. Make sure you have enough work. Make sure you investing enough interest to make things interesting in the first place. Sometimes you're gonna get stuck in very nasty situations where you run out of things to do, and you have to know that down to yourself. That is a bad situation. You're running dry on activity. And you have to evaluate life, like what are the perfect conditions of life where it doesn't have to fucking question itself constantly. That's a very good condition. So that means whatever you have that has life force kind of wants to circulate and forget that it's capable of questioning itself. You know, the capacity to question your existence is nasty. Okay? Yeah, we can be super serious about it and try and tackle this question, but you know where it's going. It's going into the darkest pits of doom ever. Because I don't know what kind of person you have to be and how you approach this if you really want to. Even just thinking about it, it's just, I know my brain is just gonna fry and be super unhappy. Like, what are you doing, buddy? But you question existence every now and then for different reasons. You're questioning whether it's like, you still have to keep up with that circulation thing. Still have to not fall for the trick of like, oh, now it's time to do this. And be insecure about yourself. That's what insecurity even looks like, Insecurity detected, basically. That's where you hide. You don't want to go and hide. It's nasty, it's annoying. And the question is just impossible to answer. It's like, unless you do know the answer that you're not supposed to do this, just because it's just impossible. Now again, there are different questions about existence that you can ask, but you can't ask the why you exist, because it's just happening, and that is very dark. For me, like, when again you go back to end of 2018, I go into the God mode and I question my own existence just to sprinkle in the emotion of how dark it can get very quickly. And like, wow. Or like, maybe it's almost like a graduation process. You question your existence to just show how tough you are at questioning your existence, basically, in many, many ways. Because people who pretend to be cats or something, they're crazy because they question their existence probably too much and they came up with a wrong answer. So because you question your existence, you can come up with an answer which is necessarily going to be wrong. I came here to be gay, cat. Wow, thank you, man. No, you know what you want. You know what's good for you. You know what feels satisfying. You figure those things out, and you're like, you chase the invisible hopes and dreams. And in a way, this should be a satisfying answer a little bit, but never put an answer to it. Because you just know not to go there. It's almost like don't mention God words in vain. that's where the God is. And it doesn't exist for some reason, so like, it makes you question the existence, but like, just because of that trick switch. Where is the God, huh? You wanna know where the God is? What about you? So weird, man. You already can see my hands like super dirty and fucking stink ass has been unleashed. That's the real distance management from this one little thing. Just do your best thing that you have evolved to do. We all learn to tolerate functionality in a way. Specialization. You're special, you have adapted to society, hopefully. And you don't have to question yourself too much. Okay? Because of that one exception. Don't question existence. Don't. You will want things to exist. Potentially. If you were a god. The bubble trap. This comes from Elon Musk, and I kind of forget what it's all about. I know it's about you can be deceived moment, basically. You can be deceived, put into a bubble where you have to break through and see what's actually true. You know? You want to really know what's actually true. And it's a very difficult thing. It's almost impossible. Chasing truth is ridiculously hard. He said it himself. And sometimes you don't want to do it just because of that. But if you ever looking for a challenge, chase the truth out. And guess what? You will make progress eventually. Because essentially you're chasing some weird ass truths, but you lower your needs based on your abilities. You actually learn what it's like to be a human by doing that. But you learn how to be a human if you chase truths. Because the major truths are very, very big. Bigger than your identity could handle. But by doing that, you can understand your identity. It's a very simple thing. You can't grasp the entire reality around you. You have to grasp whatever you are. And what are you supposed to be doing. And how much you should actually grasp. So you unveil the reality for a moment, set your targets, and then close it again. But that's what a mapper would do. Fuck mappers. I'm not doing that at all. No, I mean, it's what you naturally do, I guess. I'm not sure how that process looks like at all, so I can't comment until I become the greatest human of all time. The Mapper Boy. That's what can put you in a bubble if you're not challenging yourself. And then you're gonna learn the truths, but most importantly about yourself. What are you capable of? Just because you wanted the truth, you won't get the truth. You won't get the information. People want to be private too. People want to hide things from you for some reason, or just they can't, express themselves fully. There's all kinds of problems with keeps the truth from flowing, because you have to use every outlet ever, and every tiny truth you have to put into your pocket. It's a big deal, honestly. It's a fucking big deal. That's what makes you influential again. You have high respect for truth and low tolerance on ignorance, because that's what lets the truth escape. Tolerance for truth also, or just respect for truth allows you to get opportunities, because you know what's a scam and what's not a scam, what you should pay attention and what you shouldn't pay attention to. It's just a very, very big educational importance in that. And everyone respects Elon Musk, almost to the manager level, I think. So the only problem, he doesn't make YouTube videos, but YouTube videos come his way, so I'm okay with that. See, just as a YouTuber, he's a low-level creator. As a human being, he's pretty much a manager, so I don't know how to judge him besides a decent level creator. Okay, a good level creator is a little bit too much, but that's why he's in PewDiePie teams as a big E. Okay, everyone knows the E-boy, okay? The E-boy. What else do we have? 15 minutes. Energy overload. Fuck you, man. That's not true at all. Well, one thing is true, actually. And is, once I reach 2021, I'll turn the dial to a different kind of year. If I did all of this accidentally, if I made 2020 the worst year in the universe, and people trace it all back to me, just know, yeah, I'll take all the credit. All of it, okay? I will take all of it. You can't trace through me. Okay, I did this. Whatever you're tracing, man, I did this, yeah. You're right. Coronavirus, definitely I will take all the credit for all the bad things that happen in the world and all the good things that I managed to do while the bad things were happening at the same time. So yeah, don't worry about it. I'll take it. But the next year, I feel I'm gonna be able to escape some poverty and be more of myself. I need that energy overload. I need to tap into things. I already said that previously, so it doesn't make much of an impact now. But it does feel like there's a lot more that I can do. Right now, just try to be conservative with everything, all the resources I have. Just let things untangle, because they are now untangling somehow. Cool, right? And I'm calm enough to let that happen. Not in danger of any kind, I think. What is the price of one TikTok video? Let's pick this up. It's actually quite a big price at the moment. Whether it goes down or not, I don't care. So to come up with the idea, 2 hours. 2 hours you come up with an idea. Let's pick up cosplaying, because like it's the easiest thing. But generally you have people who already did work, like animators. They already did work. They might not have gained success on YouTube or whatever platform, and they happen to be able to spit out the spike versions of their content, and it works that way for them. TikTok is just something that makes almost every kind of form of content work, just because it's bite-sized, you know. Even the shitty foods, if they're bite-sized, you're gonna spit them out, but you will try them. All of a sudden you will try almost everything. That's what TikTok is. This is cool, you know. TikTok with bite-sized videos allow you to try more things. That's cool. So what is the price of a normal bite delivered to pretty much anyone who cares? So the prices pretty much can be endless if enough people watch it or whatever and appreciate it and recognize the price. So why do I care about it? I just want to like highlight something. How many TikTok videos can I make in case I make rant videos that are just exactly 3 hours long? You can say my videos are 5 to 6 hours amount of work. 5 to 6, maybe 7. 7 is a better estimate because I also have to tap into YouTube videos and I have to add additional information that comes my way, basically. You have to treat chunks of your life as work, and that's why it's 7 hours for each rant video. Seven hours of work. And for me as an efficient person, I want to make sure that I make I need as least work as possible to achieve the greatest effect, obviously. Just releasing 3 hours of content, that's for me pretty good, but obviously this content is lower grade than other people's content. It could be like 10-minute video or 10-minute of content, because other people work like 7 hours as well for a video, or 70 hours sometimes if they work entire week. But if you read through the entire thing and if it's coherent enough, then you can say, yeah, it's like 10 minutes or something. 10-minute read. If I can condense it to like just reading it out as a script, that would be 10-minute video as well. Or more like 20-minute video. Because I'm really stretching the limits here of what is being presented and how you have to present it. So yeah, that. And maybe even more, but I can't stretch beyond 20 minutes. If I compare to other YouTube content again. If it's no. I wanted to like add a podcast into comparison list. I don't know what that means. I don't watch podcasts, by the way. They are too long. They are annoying. They have to present a compelling story, something that you don't just click on because of the title. You want to click it because it's good. Okay, you know you're gonna get something good. You don't want to expect anything. You just want to tap into good information. That's what I'm trying to provide. So, work. If the video is long, you have to present not a good title, but good video, obviously. You have to present reputation, basically. In other words. Establish reputation, then you can make long videos. In a way, I feel like I have incredible amount of reputation or potential to have reputation, so I act as such. And it really helps me like release the tension, because what I'm building is actually affecting me a lot. So that's what matters in the end. For me, it's 7 hours of work. How much work is TikTok video? And again, you have to quantify in hours of work. It's the best way to quantify things. TikTok. Okay, so I like picking up cosplayer women and just kind of shrinking down, yeah, they spit out multiple TikToks, but you normally wouldn't do that. Maybe you can make 2 distinct TikToks. It's just women don't know what's successful, so they try a bunch of things until they get bored. That's kind of their strategy, I guess. So let's say you get 2 distinct TikToks, and you have to like, and I will kind of include like all the attempts as well. So you need like extra ideas, 3 hours of research work, whatever, buying your costume, 1 hour of work, 4 hours in general so far. Just putting on a costume, by the way, 5 or 6 hours of work. Just preparing the whole thing. Sometimes you need like extra work. 10 hours in total. You can get into a character as well, like do the research of the character. You have to keep looking up how it looks like, if you're not missing any details. That's again, shouldn't care too much. Should know that to some degree. This is something that has to come naturally. If you want to be in the character, basically. No. This happens naturally. So it's almost like the interesting part of cosplaying is just the character kind of happens. Because you using the character to present something, a part of yourself, is just a mix, basically. So at least 10 hours, 2 videos can be made. And then if you're doing a dance, that's 3 more hours for every dance, or like 2 more. Maybe you can do it in an hour if you're a fast learner. In an hour, but I'll say 2 hours, and you're doing like 10 dances. You try out 10, but you kind of learning that at the same time, so you can say it's just additional 10 hours of all the dances that you've learned. And I would say even that's supposed to be even more natural, to where I'll say 50 minutes. Okay, you're knocking out like 2 hours again. So, 1 TikTok, finally, with the math, is worth 9 hours. And I'll bump it to 10 hours because not everyone is a fucking cosplayer. They're just candy dancing around. And maybe I missed something. In fact, the additional work shows up when you have to interact with the audience too. Or just care about the audience. The part that makes you audible, right? You have to care about that part too. And that part is extra amount of work. But it's the work that makes, that kind of eliminates through experience. So through experience you can make things happen faster, but you're more audible. So technically, being audible negates, or popular, okay, negates free time chipped. You get the idea. You chipping away time as you repeating the same thing over and over again, but you becoming more audible, so there's more things to deal with. And if you ignore the audacity that you have as like, oh, it's completely normal. No, it's not. It's an actually very rare product that you're getting. Because most of the time this happens from repetition, from establishing yourself as an identity, something that you might want to run away from, essentially, or very well use the audible audacity as a resource, whatever, popularity. I like audacity in this case because we're talking about audience here that you have to please, And it's very, very random too. It's not specific kind of people. On YouTube, we call viewership. It might actually be a completely different dynamic. So that's kind of interesting too. And finally, 2 more locks to go. With 1 minute on the clock. I think I can still afford it because we didn't hit the grade. So I can maximize to the C rank. That's perfect. This is big question. This is also pretty big. Sharing tiny successes means you should not wait until you achieve something really, really great in life. You should simply be happy for being happy. Okay, it's pretty difficult to do that. Yes, you need some extra layer on top, but being happy, actually not. Cool. Being satisfied. If you can find satisfaction within yourself, because happiness doesn't come when you wake up. Happiness is something, or satisfaction is not something you get when you wake up. You need a reason to be awake. And yeah, of course, you still, while you're in this waking up process, and you're doing the routine, you slowly looking around like, where's that target? What is it that I have to do today? You have to remind yourself every time who you are and what you're doing. It's kind of interesting and scary because now I'm like, I have an identity crisis. What if I wake up a completely different person? How amazing that would be. Fucking stressful, but all of a sudden I have to prepare myself for that too. Who knows? Because everything is possible. Most of the things are going to be simulated before you even are capable of conceiving. Just is going to throw you off base. Just the simulation alone of the things that are possible will throw you off a cliff. It's Friday, guys. It's okay. We're underage. We're gonna drink and drive, motherfuckers. And throw off a cliff because everything is possible now. We can fly. Yeah, should be. It's a great achievement. You kind of lay out your own achievements, your own tiny successes, and you have to share them, you have to accumulate them. You don't have to worry about what other people think about it. So, I don't necessarily have an outlet besides YouTube of sharing my time. I set up myself to do this weird thing that nobody cares about, and I'm doing it. And I like it. And that's how you do it. And I wish more people did YouTube and share their actual successes instead of trying to tame YouTube as like, look at me, I'm so good at it. You know, I'm such a badass creator. I do so much research. And that's not a tiny success. Because for me, YouTube is a public platform. It's not a corporate platform where profits matter at all. But we're being outshadowed, obviously, by these stupid capitalists. And you can tell. There's always... you can smell a better platform available for us. If we want to just share ourselves and live a decent life. So, sharing is higher priority than entertaining people. And in fact, is more like force entertaining. This is why I still hold myself as a creator in the same self-esteem category. And yet, I'm moving upwards, you know? Easily moving upwards. And will outdo the losers who do force entertaining stuff. Or entertainment. And force entertain... Fuck. Okay, sharing, yeah, I said sharing, so it's force entertaining, and yeah. But it's almost like sharing. Okay, whatever. Whatever. If there's some weird grammar going on, I don't see it. Blah blah blah. So I just want decent life to be able to share myself and to whoever cares, basically, within my circle of existence, who is willing to visit my place, or like if that matters in the first place, if it really matters to meet a person and not just like follow them up. Obviously, if you again, it does matter. I know you have much higher influence if you're capable of meeting the person. But that's about it. That's all I can talk about here. And then I'm just gonna touch one of the bigger ones. Art, memes, facts, and politics. This is what I said when I created an Instagram post. I was talking about what a be more helpful idea. And I said that the internet is full of this stuff. Art, memes, facts, and politics. Breaking it down over investment, sarcasm, what is this? What do facts do to people? What if it's completely raw facts? Like, what's the point? That is a weird one. It's almost like it explains itself, so I'm just like, what is that though? Why am I left thinking and I can't even identify what facts are, let alone explain how useless they are with one word? And politics, basically. And another useless thing that I also have to think about what it is, in a way. But I can't do it twice, so I'll just give you a snowflake, Mr. Politics. Freeze! What are you doing? You're thinking about some weird, shitty things and creating shitty trends, basically, that do no good whatsoever. It does not, well, if you want me to think about it because you spread politics, that's fine. You know, see, that's one way to look at it. If people are not hostile and allow you to think, but if they feed you what actions you're supposed to make, how you're supposed to behave, like, yeah, you can be more aware, but awareness doesn't do much at all. You have to be able to force people to do something, or force them to accept some kind of system. If you are very, if you laugh too much at black people, you have to give them like $100, okay? Just because you should feel guilty or something. Some stupid system in place. But essentially, it comes down to politics and not system design. And that part can be washed away immediately. Just get the fuck off. So yeah. Politics really needs some global warming. And so they're really hoping for that snowflake to just come off. Please, please, snowflake. Nobody cares about us because they feel bad about politics. Please do something. Oh wait, just disappear. Whatever. This is a stupid thing. What if global warming is caused by overpopulation? Poof, you know, exploding heads much? Who knows who causes global warming? Overthinking might cause global warming. But, we will never know. CO2 emission? Carbon is like everywhere. I don't even understand it. We exhale carbon. What is going on, man? Should I kill myself now? Oh wait, overpopulation is causing it, isn't it? They fucking... I don't even like to talk about it. The problems that politics pose, I hope it didn't sprinkle all over the place, because you know how fucking worthless it is. School does not involve politics, so I'm happy to talk about school. It's an experience people have naturally, okay? In a way. Or at least they can handle it naturally. And then grow out of it and be like, okay, at least it's not chasing me like a stupid fucking monster. It's just a playground for kids because adults are so obviously incapable of taking care of kids. So at least we have an exclusive playground. But yeah. Facts, they make you think, you get overthinking, you bail, and politics makes you cold, because you don't know what to do when you hear politics. That's the whole point. If it's systems design, you accept to play a simple game that will better someone's life because you screwed yourself over, okay? But if you're not screwing yourself over, you're probably, either gonna get some self-esteem boost, whatever. The system is gonna favor you instead if you're not screwing over. That's why you consented, because, it's just a very simple challenge that is still challenging for most people, and most people are gonna fail. That's how systems supposed to be designed. It's supposed to be profitable. It's supposed to make the difference. But who knows? Nobody can guarantee a difference. So you have to put it on that 50% chance for success or failure, and hope that population will decide how the system will end up being as. But what do you want, government to take over and design their systems? They're not gonna do a good job at it. That's what politics is. It's just praise the government, guys. Praise it. And tell them what you want. That's exactly how we're gonna solve the problems of today. Now, so internet is full of this stuff, and if I can be very rusty on politics, I can be very rusty on these things, and maybe these things have different names entirely, and I am ignoring something really, really terrifying. This is why this gets a star, and we are out. Or a lock, rather. It's almost like a star token anyways. There you go. We get a lock. And we're out. We have something to do for the next time. Figure out what the fuck is internet doing with all this shit and not embracing the smart people, The internet is not bound by capitalism. What are you talking about? Or is it another YouTube thing, basically? Internet will come and go. Yeah, I'm not sure. It's kind of establishing itself like electricity of some kind. Ability to communicate almost in every conceivable way. That's crazy. But it's not going away. So, and let's just put it down. Internet is not going away. So it must be pretty big, and in fact it's almost like the ever-changing name of the government. Who holds the government? We finally know his name. All hail the fucking internet. Well, maybe the name will change actually, Maybe once we have decentralized systems all over the place, we change the currency, we change the way things operate in the first place. Who knows? Maybe it's gonna be the cloud system or something. Fucking not internet anymore. Whatever. It's possible. But it's just not going away. It's just going beyond what it is. Anyways, that's it. Perfect job. That's how it really looks like. A perfect rant. I hope. I mean, now that looks beautiful.